Pharaoh was then penniless and bankrupt, overwhelmed with debt. He hid inside his house for fear of repaying the debt. Consequently, creditors began to arrive at Pharaoh's house one by one. Pharaoh was very cunning and deceitful, not just a deceiver, but a cheat. Even though he was inside, he kept the door open so that the creditors would think no one was home. Day after day, the creditors came but returned without seeing Pharaoh. Pharaoh kept thinking to himself, "How long can I hide myself like this? I must establish myself." At that time, Egypt was the world's best in terms of economy. Then, out of fear of the creditors, Pharaoh secretly set out from Balkh toward Egypt in the deep darkness of the night. After traveling a long distance all night, he finally reached Egypt. After going a short distance, he met his friend Haman. Seeing him, Haman immediately asked, "Dear friend, why are you here? What's your condition?" Pharaoh then said, "Friend Haman, I am in great distress. I have secretly fled, hiding from my creditors. I am absolutely broke, engulfed in debt all around. Now I need a job." Haman then said, "Pharaoh, I am in the same situation. I also need a job." Thereafter, Pharaoh and Haman set out in search of work. After traveling some distance, they became desperate with hunger and thirst. They noticed a man working in a watermelon field, cutting watermelons. Pharaoh and Haman slowly approached the watermelon field and said, "Uncle, we are very hungry. Could you please give us some watermelon to eat?" As soon as the man heard this, he gave them watermelon. They ate their fill and felt satisfied. Then, the owner of the watermelon field asked them, "I haven't seen you before. Who are you, and where are you coming from?" Pharaoh replied, "We are foreigners, coming from Balkh for work." The watermelon field owner thought that he also needed laborers, so he asked them, "Will you work for me?" Haman said, "Of course we will." Then the watermelon field owner said, "If you work for me, you must work honestly. You must not steal." Pharaoh was a deceiver, so he cleverly said, "I have never lied in my life, let alone steal." By adopting various cunning methods, Pharaoh and his friend Haman won the heart of the watermelon field owner and were hired for the job. From the next day, Pharaoh and Haman would go to the market with watermelons. They would sell the watermelons in the market for a higher price and show a greater profit to the owner. This way, they won the owner's heart even more. A considerable time passed. One day, Pharaoh told the field owner, "Uncle, sell me the watermelons by the piece. You will earn even more profit." The field owner agreed to his suggestion. Consequently, from the next day, Pharaoh took the watermelons to the market again. Pharaoh would buy the watermelons by the piece and sometimes stole some watermelons. And when he got to the market, he would cut the watermelons into pieces and sell them at an exorbitant price. This way, Pharaoh earned a lot of money through trickery. One night, Pharaoh told his friend, "Haman, if we only sell watermelons like this, we won't achieve anything in life. We need to do something else." At that time, a remarkable event occurred. The king of Egypt issued a public notice throughout the country by his army. The soldiers went to various places and announced, "It is hereby informed that a guard is required for the Egyptian cemetery. If any person is interested in this job, they should immediately contact the king of Egypt's court." After saying this, the soldiers left. After hearing all these things, directly or indirectly, Pharaoh told his friend, "Haman, let's go to the royal court." Haman said, "I don't think that will be possible." Pharaoh then said, "We can't let this opportunity slip away. Let's try once." Thereafter, Pharaoh and Haman immediately went to the Egyptian royal court without delay. The king of Egypt asked them, "Who are you, and what do you want?" Pharaoh then pleaded with folded hands, "I am a traveler. I have come from a foreign land. I am very needy. I heard that you are appointing a guard for the cemetery. So if you would kindly give me this job, I would be eternally grateful to you." The king of Egypt looked at Pharaoh and thought to himself, "He has good health and a good appearance. I am very needy. I heard that you are appointing a guard for the cemetery. So if you would kindly give me this job, I would be eternally grateful to you." The king of Egypt looked at Pharaoh and thought to himself, "He has good health and a good appearance. I think he can do it." With this thought, he appointed Pharaoh to the job of cemetery guard. From the next day, Pharaoh started working as a cemetery guard in Egypt. Day and night, Pharaoh stood in front of the cemetery, and his friend Haman lived with him in a small room nearby. One night, a few people came to bury a dead body, but Pharaoh obstructed them and did not allow them to enter the cemetery. They then asked, "What is the matter? Why are you stopping us from burying the body?" In reality, Pharaoh was a deceiver and a cheat, so he cleverly said, "Haven't you heard that the king of Egypt has made a new law? To bury a dead body, 1 gold coin must be given." These people believed Pharaoh and gave him 1 gold coin to bury the body. This way, it was publicized that 1 gold coin must be given to bury a dead body. In this manner, Pharaoh earned a lot of money through deception. At that time, a strange incident occurred. God's wrath began in Egypt. Many people started dying from cholera and smallpox. Subsequently, some people came to the cemetery to bury the dead bodies. Pharaoh then, being more cunning, said, "The king of Egypt has made a new law. If a person dies from cholera or smallpox, they must give 2 gold coins to be buried in this cemetery." Pharaoh earned a lot of money by deceptively taking gold coins from everyone. This way, that year passed. Afterward, Pharaoh told his friend Haman, "Haman, look, I have earned 2 bags of money, but we will take these to the king of Egypt." Haman was surprised to hear this. He said, "Pharaoh, have you gone mad? The money you worked so hard for and cheated everyone to get, and you are going to give it to the king in the end?" Pharaoh said, "Haman, be patient. My intelligence will be revealed gradually." Thereafter, without delay, Pharaoh and Haman appeared at the king of Egypt's court the next day with 2 bags of gold coins. The king of Egypt asked them, "What's the matter? Why have you come to the royal court with bags?" Pharaoh then said, "Your Majesty, I have brought 2 bags of gold coins." Hearing this, the king's minister rebuked them, saying, "I am surprised at your audacity that you are standing before the king of Egypt showing off your money." The king of Egypt then asked, "Where did you get so much gold coin, and why have you brought it here?" Pharaoh replied, "Your Majesty, I took 1 gold coin from those who came to bury the dead bodies. Besides, my salary is included in this. My main intention is that I am giving you these gold coins on behalf of the poor people in Egypt who could not pay their taxes for the last 2 years. Please forgive their taxes." Everyone present there was astonished to hear this. The king of Egypt was attracted by his actions and paid special attention to him. From the next day, it was publicized throughout Egypt that a cemetery guard had paid the taxes of the poor people of Egypt for 2 years. All the people of Egypt started saying that such a good person is rarely seen in all of Egypt. If that person were the king of our country instead of a cemetery guard, how happy we would be. This way, he first won the heart of the king of Egypt, then the people of Egypt. Eventually, a long time passed. One day, the king of Egypt died due to old age. Everyone became worried. Who will be the second Ramses, the king of Egypt? A few days later, an emergency meeting was organized at the royal court. One of the distinguished scholars present there said, "We cannot keep the throne of the king of Egypt vacant like this. Who will be the king of Egypt? Please discuss and tell me." Then, someone present there said, "Sir, we believe that the young man who is the cemetery guard, that is Pharaoh, has both health and prominence. Besides, he is very good and also cares about the people. We think he should be made king." Then, that distinguished scholar said, "All right, let it be so." With everyone's consent, Pharaoh became the king of Egypt. The man who once sold watermelons and was a cemetery guard is today the king of all Egypt due to a change of fate. Actually, no one knew how vile a person Pharaoh was. After Pharaoh became the king of Egypt, he again used various tricks and deceptions to make his friend Haman his minister. One day, Pharaoh was sitting in the royal court. He suddenly announced that no one in all of Egypt would have to pay taxes for the past year. All these taxes would be forgiven by Pharaoh. Upon hearing this news, the common poor people of all Egypt were very happy. Afterward, when there was no one present except Pharaoh and Haman, Haman said, "Friend Pharaoh, if you forgive all the taxes like this, how will the kingdom run?" Pharaoh said, "Haman, be patient. After this, I will devise such a plan that we will be the kings of all Egypt forever. There is no power that can defeat us. This requires intelligence." After saying this, the 2 of them left one by one. From the next day, Pharaoh's name began to be discussed throughout Egypt. At this time, Haman called Pharaoh and said, "Friend Pharaoh, if you want to remain king forever, some actions are definitely necessary." Pharaoh then asked, "What are those actions?" Haman then told him everything one by one. Subsequently, Pharaoh organized an emergency meeting in the royal court. Pharaoh then announced, "From today, there will be no education system in all of Egypt. All schools will be closed." Pharaoh issued a royal decree. No person in Egypt will be able to receive or give education. If any person disobeys this order, they will be killed. Everyone in all of Egypt who worships small stone idols must break them and worship the idol of Pharaoh. In this way, due to fear of Pharaoh's words, studies were stopped within a few days, and all the people of Egypt forgot about God and became ignorant and uneducated. People became completely like quadrupeds. After this, Pharaoh became extremely arrogant. He began to consider himself so great that he became full of arrogance and claimed to be God. Day by day, the amount of tax on the people increased. Injustice and oppression increased. Pharaoh alone began to rule all of Egypt. The amount of usury, bribery, fornication, and adultery increased. In a word, Pharaoh began to insult and disgrace the children of Israel, Bani Israel. Only Asiya was exempt from Pharaoh's insult and disgrace because Asiya was the most beautiful, virtuous, and devout woman of that era. Thus, after many years, Pharaoh married Asiya. One day, Asiya was sitting in her room thinking to herself, "The way my husband Pharaoh is unjustly oppressing the people of the country and claiming to be God, he will not only fall under God's wrath himself, but also destroy all the people of the country." Just then, Pharaoh entered the room and said, "Asiya, why do you look so worried?" Asiya then said, "Dear husband, you surely know that this earth, moon, sun, sky, and land were all created by the great Allah Ta'ala. Therefore, no matter how much power a person gains, they cannot create a small insect. Humans are mortal. Everyone will have to leave this world one day. So please stop claiming to be God and return to the path of Allah." As soon as he heard this, Pharaoh became very angry and rebuked Asiya, saying, "Asiya, if anyone else had said this, I would have killed them. Just as everyone has accepted me as God, you also accept me as God, or your condition will be like theirs." After saying this, Pharaoh left the room. Asiya became very worried because there was nothing she could do. Tears just flowed from her eyes. Many days passed in this way. Then, one day, Pharaoh was lying in his room. In the deep night, he dreamt of a huge fireball coming from the direction of the children of Israel and burning all of Egypt to ashes. However, the children of Israel were unharmed. Pharaoh woke up quickly after seeing this dream. Without delay, Pharaoh called the great astrologers from different parts of the country to the royal court the next day and told them about his dream. Interpreting Pharaoh's dream, one of the astrologers said, "Your Majesty, please do not mind. We foresee your death in the future. You will not be the king of Egypt for much longer. Your power will be shattered." Hearing this, Pharaoh became extremely angry and rebuked the astrologer, saying, "What are you trying to say? I will lose power? Is there such a power?" Then the astrologer said, "A boy named Musa from among the children of Israel will put an end to your power." After saying this, they left. A few days later, Pharaoh told Haman, "Take the army and kill all the male infants in every house throughout Egypt." According to the commentators, when approximately 80,000 male infants were killed in this way, Pharaoh again brought the greatest astrologers of Egypt for calculation. Subsequently, the astrologers then said, "Your Majesty, we can see by calculation that among all the male infants you have killed, the boy named Musa is not there." Pharaoh then said, "Calculate properly." This time, the astrologers said, "Your Majesty, we can see by calculation that among all the male infants you have killed, the boy named Musa is not there." Pharaoh then said, "Calculate properly." This time, the astrologers said, "Your Majesty, we can see by calculation that among all the male infants you have killed, the boy named Musa is not there." Among all the male infants you have killed, the boy named Musa is not there. Pharaoh then said, "Calculate properly." This time, the astrologers said, "Your Majesty, we can see by calculation that no matter how hard you try to kill him, you will not be able to kill him. That boy named Musa will shatter your power, and that boy is a child now." As soon as Pharaoh heard this, he became angrier and immediately commanded, "Go and search every house. Kill Musa in whichever house he may be." This news spread all over Egypt. Then, the mother of Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, became very worried. How would she save her infant Musa? Just then, her daughter Maryam was grazing goats on the riverbank. She clearly noticed that many of Pharaoh's soldiers, including Haman, were heading towards their house. Seeing this, Maryam quickly rushed home and said, "Mother, Pharaoh's army is coming towards our house. Save my brother Musa." Hearing this, the mother of Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, was stunned. She didn't know what to do. By then, Pharaoh's army had surrounded their house. At that moment, Allah Rabbul Alamin, the Lord of the worlds, spoke through an unseen voice, saying, "O mother of Musa, do not delay. Go and place your son Musa in the burning oven." The mother of Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, did not delay, and placed the infant Musa, peace be upon him, in the burning oven. And suddenly, Pharaoh's army entered the house. They said, "We have received news that you have a male child named Musa in your house. Hand him over to us immediately." The mother then said, "Look, I have a daughter. If Musa is in my house, then you find him." Then Pharaoh's army searched every nook and corner of the house, but could not find him anywhere. Finally, they all left. Afterward, the mother of Prophet Musa, weeping, went to the burning oven and saw that Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, was alive and playing inside the burning fire. By the power of Allah, not a single hair of Prophet Musa was burned by the fire. Then the mother of Prophet Musa offered thanks to Allah and said, "O Allah, you are the owner of all power. All praise is due to you. O Allah, you have saved my son Musa." Subsequently, on that night, the mother of Prophet Musa dreamt that Allah Rabbul Alamin was saying, "Build a wooden chest and set Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, in the Nile River inside that chest." Meanwhile, Allah Rabbul Alamin called Prophet Gabriel, peace be upon him, and said, "O Jibril, go and help Musa's mother." Upon receiving this instruction, Prophet Jibril, peace be upon him, began to approach the house of Prophet Musa's mother. In the morning, the mother of Prophet Musa was very worried in front of her house. Just then, she saw a dervish, a religious ascetic, arrive at her house. Then the mother of Prophet said, "Who are you? I don't recognize you." Then, concealing his identity, he said, "I'm a carpenter. Do you need anything made of wood?" Immediately, the mother of Prophet Musa said, "Of course, I need a wooden chest made." And in this way, Allah Ta'ala helped Musa's mother make the chest through Prophet Jibril that day. Afterward, she set Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, in the Nile River. By the miracle of Allah, the wooden chest of Prophet Musa traveled against the current of the Nile River. Floating in this manner, the wooden chest of Prophet Musa reached Pharaoh's royal court. Pharaoh, his wife, Mother Asiya, and servants were present there. As soon as Mother Asiya saw the chest, she approached it. Mother Asiya opened the chest and saw a beautiful, innocent baby. The light of Noor, divine light, seemed to shine on his forehead. She had never seen such a beautiful baby in her life. So, without delay, Mother Asiya picked up Musa in her lap and went to Pharaoh, saying, "Look, what a beautiful baby. I will raise this child." Hearing this, Pharaoh said, "No, this child might be our enemy. This could be a child from among the children of Israel. I will kill him." Then Mother Asiya said, "What are you saying? If this were a child of the children of Israel, how did he come against the river current? He should have gone in the other direction." Hearing this argument, Pharaoh did not say anything more. He only said, "All right, you can raise this child." Thereafter, Mother Asiya took Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, and entered the royal court. When Pharaoh picked up Musa in his lap and was about to kiss him to show affection as his own child, at that very moment, by the command of Allah, the infant Musa slapped Pharaoh so hard with his tiny hand that the royal court trembled. It felt as if an earthquake had begun. Then a suspicion arose in Pharaoh's mind. He thought to himself, "Surely this child is not an ordinary child. He must be tested." Then Pharaoh told someone, "Go, bring some gold and bring fire with it. I will test this child." Everyone present there was stunned to hear this. When this person brought the fire and gold, at that very moment, Allah Rabbul Alamin, through Prophet Jibril, peace be upon him, turned Prophet Musa's hand towards the fire, and Musa started crying out loud. Then Asiya said, "There is no one in this world with a heart as hard and cruel as yours. Does this innocent baby know the difference between fire and gold?" Subsequently, Pharaoh's suspicion was removed, and in this way, Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, began to grow up in Pharaoh's house. Dear viewers, the video ends here today. Assalamu alaikum, everyone take care.